It's no secret how much I love this stretch carpet. I think it makes any van conversion look super neat and professional. So here's a quick little video just using this little section of the driver's column to show you how I went about it. This is a special case because on these driver's side and passenger side arches, there's actually the seat belt that I want to remove to be able to do a nice flush finish. So first I'm going to remove that and then I'll move on to cleaning. Now that's nice and clean of any dust or grease, I'm going to use some tape, some duct tape to cover up any finished surfaces that I want to protect from the spray glue. So this car trim here and up here as well. Note that if I had my time again, I would make things easier for myself by removing the cover of this screw to be able to pull back the entire plastic trim. That would allow me to lay the carpet well past what will be visible in the end, making for an easier install and a cleaner finish. May not be pretty, but the finished surfaces are now protected by duct tape. So I'm going to start applying the contact adhesive here. I've laid out my stretch carpet on the ground in the orientation that I'm going to be applying it on the wall. Because once I spray contact adhesive up here, I'm going to spray it on the back side of the carpet as well. Where you have the glue on the back of the carpet needs to correspond with where you're placing that carpet on the wall, because both surfaces need to have the glue for them to stick together. As well as protecting finished surfaces with tape here, I will also just use my offcut of cardboard to place, behind a surface that I'm spraying, for example, or even next to this surface, wherever I'm stopping, just to stop any excess glue getting anywhere in the car that you don't want it. Now that I've sprayed the contact adhesive over the whole surface I'm working on and the whole area of the back of the carpet that I'm using, I've got to wait for that to dry for a minute or two until it goes tacky and it's not wet anymore. I will only do a small manageable section, glue a certain area, and then I'll glue only that area on the back of the carpet and work along in chunks. It just happens that this is a smaller area, so I'm doing the whole thing at once. If you touch it and it pulls off with your finger, then it's not ready. See how it's pulling off? If it's dried enough that when I touch it, it stays there and my glove will just stick a little bit, then it's ready. You can see there, I started from the top, worked my way along, pushing it into any creases and funny shapes along the way. You don't want to lay the whole thing out and then start pushing it in later, because you'll have uneven stretching in some areas and clumping in other areas. Really take your time to work along systematically, and that way you get a nice smooth finish. Right now, as I'm about to cut all of this excess off, I'm just swapping over the blade on my Stanley knife as well, because I've just noticed doing this cut up here, I couldn't just do it in one cut. You want to really have a nice flush finish line of your carpet. So just to be able to do one slice and have it separate nicely and be finished is really important. If you do a cut and then you try to pull it away and you're having to tear bits and cut again, it's really not ideal. So I'm swapping this blade over to get it nice and sharp, so all along these edges I can just do one nice cut and it's going to be a nice smooth edge, hopefully. Now that's all installed and pushed nice and tightly into all of the, what are they called? Not crevices, molds, all of the something. Now the carpet's pushed into the van, pushed onto the metal. Anyway, I've cut this hole out where I need to put the bolt in with the seat belt again. I've cut it flush around the door trim here, so I'll just put that back on now. And finish. Just imagine that there will be timber boards coming up here, running into it there, so it's all nice and finished. But just the way it goes into all of the dents and crevices in the van, it's just such a lush finish. I love it. Very nice.